Hello and welcome to Kendrick Farms. We're back with another episode of UMRV, Upper Mississippi River Valley, and today we are going to be doing a little bit of slurry spreading on our grass fields and trying to finish up our mowing here for the year. Maybe not for the year, for our first cut here in the spring. We're working on a little bit of haylage right now out in the main field, and I'm trying to figure out the best way to get out of the yard here. If I remember right, we put an entrance in over here. I think that's probably going to be the easiest way to get this tractor out of the yard. We've got, oh my goodness, the mower and the baler going down here. It looks like they're going to need just a little bit of help. I think the mower got stuck trying to get up this side hill and just couldn't make it, so we're going to try and start it off again here, see if it'll do its thing. Looking good. Hopefully we won't have any more collisions. The baler's on the third track around the headlands here, so hopefully that's going to work its way out. And then we do have to start picking up bales at some point as well, get the silage going. But I think we're going to focus on the slurry stuff that we'd gotten started on here. I want to at least get this tanker hooked up, and these grass fields are super small, so we're going to be spreading this ourselves today rather than trying to leverage a worker of any kind to do the slurry spreading. All of the grass fields we've got are going to be able to get spread out of a single tank, I'm sure. And we've got plenty of both slurry and digestate to move through. I think we've actually got some slurry left in the tanker that we couldn't unload out of the slurry spreader. And we'll be using that up first, and then we'll be switching over and grabbing the digestate out of our biogas plant here. We've sold a lot of the slurry and digestate off over the course of winter because we just weren't able to process it fast enough. But I think now that we've got everything kind of running on the farm here, we'll hopefully be able to go ahead and keep up with our production now. Let's see if we can get this hooked up here. I never get used to driving these articulated tractors, but it looks like we've got it, and it is 100% full on slurry. That's all right. Don't want to turn too tight there. It does swing out on the back. We've got the steering on this thing, so we'll have to be a little bit careful. And I'm going to go ahead and unfold this, and hopefully as I pull into the fields here, I'm going to be able to see what our nitrogen values are. Let me see. There we go. Everything is in the red. I've got this thing on automatic application rates. It says no values detected, but I think it's going to work with grass here once we get going. So I'm going to go ahead and turn her on here. And it's saying no values detected. Does slurry not work with automatic spreading? I swear I've had this go before. Is it just because it's grass? Change nitrogen reference value. Well, this is not working out. I thought this worked before. We'd done it on our crop fields, I know, but unfortunately, this doesn't seem to be doing anything. So we're going to go ahead and hit a manual rate here. And I'm trying to see where my manual rate is. 25 cubic meters per hectare right now. Is it M to increase a little bit, or K to increase a little bit? We're gonna try and bring this up to, I want to say 40. We'll see how that works. I'm not seeing it register much on the mini map here. Maybe we need to take this up a little bit more. We'll come up to 50, and it might just be because I'm off to the side here a little bit that this isn't working. I really thought the automatic part worked. Maybe it's because I don't have the sensors on my mirrors. I want to say I put the upgraded sensors on the slurry cart here, though. Maybe I will take a quick peek here at the other tractor. I can't remember. I swear we had something here that worked with this. Yeah, I do have the John Deere manure sensing turned on here. We'll detect the nitrogen and make sure it gets spread evenly. Man, I feel like I've had this conversation with chat before. It's just been so long since I've operated the slurry equipment. Maybe slurry can't be spread automatically. I think that sensing equipment is there to assist me in getting a even amount of the slurry out at a time, because it's kind of a variable rate normally, but I'm not really seeing that we're making a dent on the nitrogen map here at all. And maybe that's just because we need to update our maps. Maybe it's been so long since we got a map sample. Let's just head in here to precision farming and double check. I have outdated data. That's the problem here. Okay, well, that's easy to fix. We just need to come in here and purchase soil information. That's a little steep, but we'll do it. And I don't see that I have outdated data anywhere else yet, so we'll go for that. And if I bring this back up and turn on the automatic application rate and turn this on, does this start to work now? There we go. Now everything's working. See, it's always something if you pay attention to what's going on. It's oftentimes not an issue with the game itself, but more of an issue with the user behind the steering wheel here. I am pulling over a little bit here. I was hoping that we would get a better spread on the rest of this field, but it doesn't seem to be picking up over the chunk that we'd already driven, at least on the map. But I do see nitrogen 80, application rate 0. Yeah, okay, so we're not getting anything on this part that I've already driven. So I'm going to scooch over here a little bit, and we'll hit the next part. I must have already spread over this, even though the map's not quite updating for me. We may have to come back and hit this at some point with the other sprayer just to clean up our mess, but I think we're going to get it here on the fields moving forward. It is turning on and off now, and I do see the mini-map starting to update in some areas, so I'm feeling pretty good about this, and we're burning through this slurry pretty quickly. I'm not too worried about it, but I was not expecting to use this much of a full tank on this tiny little field. I always underestimate the slurry consumption, although some of that might have been my manual application that we were doing before we got started here with the precision farming data working correctly. So let's go ahead here and just finish this pass off, and then we'll jump on over here to another field. So we're going to fold this tank up. I've got 75% of it left. So I think what we're going to do, since I don't want to put more slurry in here, I'd rather switch over to using the digestate, is we're going to take this 75% and we're going to go over and do this other field, which is our second smallest field that's over by the house. And hopefully we can use up the rest of this slurry, or pretty close to it, on this field. And then when we come back out and we're moving between fields, I can go and fill up on the digestate. I'm hoping not to do a lot of running back and forth here, but I guess all of my fields are pretty close up to the farmyard, so it's not that big of a deal. Get the spreader unfolded here. There we go. Turn everything on with the automatic rates, and off to the races. I say as though we're going super fast, although I guess 9 miles an hour actually isn't that bad. I'll take it. And at least this field seems to be updating how I would expect. We're seeing everything get into the green. You know, now that I say that, I think we are just applying a flat amount of a slurry everywhere we go here. I don't think that we're actually putting on the right amount for a crop, which is the part of this conversation that I'm now remembering. I think that our automatic application rate is just putting on a flat amount based on the soil type and kind of boosting our nitrogen that way. And luckily for us, grass is Probably not going to be too picky about how much nitrogen it needs. So this is just us applying slurry to the soil and not applying automatic application rates based on a crop type like you would if you were using a sprayer with liquid nitrogen or applying fertilizer while you're planting. Sometimes I feel like every time I get back into the game, I'm learning everything all over again. My brain just does not have the capacity to hold on to all these little tidbits of information when I take these extended breaks from Farm Sim. We're getting back into it though. Hopefully I can keep things straight moving forward. We got a little bit off of the edge here. I'm trying to hug this grass edge pretty close. I'm thinking it's throwing this slurry pretty far out here though, so we're doing pretty good. The mini map looks good at least, so I'm not too worried about it. And I'm at 35% of my tank so far. We're not gonna finish this field with what's in there, although that's not horrible. We're gonna have to make a trip back up to the biogas plant there and switch over and get some of that digestate. Unfortunately, it's not going to be with us ending up right here on this end. I'm going to end up having to jog back up here from some other part of the field, unfortunately, but that's all right. We'll wrap up this run, and at least I'll be done with the longest rows after we turn around here. And it shouldn't take but a minute to get the rest of this stuff unloaded. So I did go ahead and set up a GPS track here just so that when we start back on our way down here, we don't have to figure out exactly where we left off or keep doing everything by visual sight. It'll hopefully make things a little bit easier on us here. But we did finally run out of slurry on this field, so we're going to go fill up on a tank of digestate, and hopefully one tank will be enough to finish the rest of this field. We'll find out. Now, I did not think through very well creating a refillable course to come and fill up the slurry tanks when I set this all up. In fact, I didn't even think about a good way to back in here with it. So we're going to kind of wing it and pull forward enough here that hopefully, nope, I'm not going to be able to fill it up there. I am going to have to back it in, unfortunately. So let's see if I can figure this out without crashing into too much stuff like this building or the telephone poles. We got a nice healthy ditch here. It's just, it's a complete hassle getting in and out of here. All right, we gave up on trying to just back it in over there in a easy way. I'm gonna instead try and back it in all the way from over here. Let's see if we can zoom our camera out a little bit here. Help me out. And I should have started turning a lot sooner than we have. I always forget how these trailers with the steering axles work. This thing can really crank its way over. Thankfully, I think I've got enough room here to fix our mistakes. So I'm going to start cranking it all the way over here. See if I can straighten this out without hitting the biogas tank over here. There we go. I got to be careful I don't go too far back here. That's quite the drop. So I'm going to pull forward now. And let's see if I'm close enough to start filling this up. I am. Oh, goodness. Well, that'll make our lives a little bit easier. And we're bringing in a lot of digestate here. While we're doing that, let's take a quick look at the biogas plant. I've got almost 47,000 gallons in there right now. Oh, I'm already over 5. So this thing's probably, what, a 10,000 gallon tank? Maybe a little bit less. I can't see. It's dirty. It's got the gallons printed right there. Is that 8,500, 9,500? 9,500 gallons, just short of it. All right, so almost 10,000 gallons per haul. So I've got at least 4 more loads in there, and that's not counting all of the slurry that's still getting processed out of the biogas plant. So we should be in a pretty good spot. I've got lots of digestate, and I'm just hoping to get these grass fields that we've already mowed spread. I'm not too worried about the big one that we've got the mower and baler on right now. We'll get back to that one at some point here. But for now, it'll be happy if we can get through getting these 4 smaller fields all spread today. And this is where our GPS track is going to come in handy. Let me just figure out where we left that. It's going to be right up here. And I'm going to start in on the one next to the one we were on going down. Mostly because, if I can get out of the trees here, we made it almost all the way down to the other end when we were doing it. So if I can just take this one down, I can clean up the little bit that we missed at the end there before we ran out, and then I'll circle back around and we'll come back up the other side. And I think I've only got, one more pass left looking at the mini map here. One interesting note, and I'm not sure about this yet, but it looks like I'm applying a little bit less per acre than I had with the slurry. I think that the digestate is probably more concentrated, so we seem to be going through it a little bit slower, which will be great for using the workers and such, because they won't have to go back and fill up as often if we don't need quite as much product per acre. That would be really nice if that's what's going on here. So I'm kind of keeping my eye on it as I swing around and hit this last bit here. I mean, it's moving, but it just doesn't seem to be moving quite as fast. We're at 12.1 cubic meters per hectare, and I am almost positive that read 15 when we were spreading the slurry. So now that we've got this little bit cleaned up, I'm going to go ahead and just get back down here to the other end. I know it looks like I'm spreading, but realistically, precision farming has the spreader turned off. We're not putting anything down on the ground right now. So I'm going to turn right back into my GPS track here. And, GPS doesn't seem to be initialized. Let's back up here and try that one more time. There we go. And off we go. Should be spreading now. Looks like I might miss just the smallest sliver over there, but according to the mini map, we're getting everything. So I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to assume that we've actually got the right amount of nitrogen here on the ground. I'm going to drop my gears down a bit. We seem to be struggling up this hill, and I think it's just finding the appropriate gear. Oh, there we go. That seems to be running a lot better. 9 miles an hour. And yeah, I'm actually quite happy this is working out as well as it is. We're getting our nitrogen put on. We should get a good yield of grass off of these fields still. And I've got my precision farming stuff all dialed in. We've got GPS back up and running. I've remembered where all my buttons are. It's been a fun couple of episodes getting back into the swing of everything, but I figured it'd be easier to do it here on UMRV rather than a new map with new equipment and everything else. So we are going to be starting a new series here soon. I think we're going to be jumping into this, is it Teton County, Iowa map that DR Modding released. I want to check that out. Maybe we'll start that off in a live stream. I want to try out the row crop ready version of that. I keep wanting to play a row crop ready map, and I feel like that's going to be a great candidate to start things off on. So I'm looking forward to giving it a go and seeing what it's all about, and then we can see where it goes from there. I've also got a few other things in mind that I want to try out, and I've got a list of tutorial requests, even after all this time away, that people have asked me to put together. So we'll get back to doing some more educational content on the channel as well, I think. I've gone ahead and topped off the digestate here in the slurry spreader, just because we might as well have a full tank going into the next field. I think the next field I'm going to do is this one back in the corner. It's pretty small, and I'm hoping that one tank of digestate is going to cover it, since it seems to be going a little bit further. And that'll allow me to actually set up a short courseplay course for this thing. And I'm going to jump down into the pickup, and we're going to go pick up some of these grass bales and see if we can get that silage going, the haylage, over in the harvest store. I think that I'd like to get that moving before we skip time forward at all. And outside of a little bit of the slurry spreading, there's not a whole lot left here to do in the month of April. All right, we've got a nice short course generated here. I'm just going to start it off on the first waypoint. If I remember right, I actually do these with the headlands last on the slurry spreader, just so we're not driving through the muck. It should be able to figure that out, though. It's a pretty simple course. Just going to be going around in a circle a few times on that little field. So we'll let it do its thing, and I want to jump into this pickup truck and see just how many bales we're starting to come across. And honestly, I haven't seen our baler or the mower in a little bit, and that always makes me nervous that it got hung up on something somewhere. So we're going to take this all the way down to the other end of the field and see what's what. To keep an eye out for bales that might have fallen off the edge of the field as things are getting dragged around by different equipment. I think I'm going to focus on the bales towards the outside of the field on the way down here, just because I don't feel like trying to swerve back and forth, and there should be plenty of bales for me to fill up this trailer on my way around the field. It looks like the mower got stuck on a bale. Unfortunate. Well, it's a good thing we're going around then. I can pick up some of the bales on the headlands here and hopefully get the mower cleared for doing more stuff here. I'm missing a few on the outside that I said I was going to pick up because I want to now leave enough room on my trailer to get as many of these off of the headlands as I can, so the mower hopefully isn't crashing into them too much. Technically, I should probably skip all of those if that's what I'm trying to do, since technically I don't need to worry about anything that's back there, but that's all right. We'll grab what we can. The mower's going to take a while to get down this far anyway, so we'll just keep going. I've got room for, what, 3 more bales maybe? We'll grab these and we'll take these back up to the farm and get them dropped off, and then maybe I'll come down here and we'll make a second pass and finish getting the rest of these off of the headland, just so that we don't run into any more problems with the mower having collisions with bales. It's always good to see a worker doing his job, what you expect him to be doing when you come back down to the end of the field. I'm always half expecting to find him wrapped around a tree or something like that, but I have to say the slurry spreader is actually one of the more reliable workers that we've had on the farm. He seems to get his stuff done pretty regularly. I don't have too many problems with him. So let's navigate ourselves back onto the road here, and we'll get this going. It looks like that baler's struggling up that steep part of the hill there. I'm really hoping he's not getting stuck. Nope, he's got it. He's got it. And I think this is the first time that I've tried to bring grass bales up here to turn into silage. I don't know if we've done this yet before, so it'll be interesting to me to see if this works out. It should. I don't know why there would be any problems with it, but you never know. It looks like I could have pulled a little bit further forward. Usually I can get 3 of the stacks in the zone, but we'll give them a shove here, see what happens. I can only really move a stack at a time, so we'll pull the stacks forward here real quick, get everything going into the harvestor. So with those in the harvestor, now we need to actually turn on the haylage fermenting silo, and that's going to allow us to start converting the grass into silage, which hopefully that's going to keep up with our total mixed ration here, which is taking silage and turning it into TMR alongside the hay. This runs at 4,800 cycles a month, as does this, so we will gain on the silage, which is great because we're only consuming 750, but we're making 1130. So we should see the silage number start to tick up here and catch up with our capacity, which will be great because then everything will kind of keep moving and we'll have plenty of feed moving forward for these cows. Now, as we've already seen, we had some problems with our equipment running into things, so I'm going to get this set back up. Whoa! Into the operating position, and we'll be able to go ahead and get these bales off of the headlands so that the mower isn't running into them. I see the mower coming right now, so I'm going to go back around this side of the field, I think, and just grab these bales right here off of this side of the headland, and we'll zip down and get the ones on the other side. And it looks like our slurry spreader here on the right hand side is almost done. I'm thinking so, at least. I'm hoping that it had enough digestate to finish up that field. I haven't seen any messages to the effect that it's gotten full, or gotten empty, excuse me, and can't finish its job. Now, I did miss a couple bales back there, which again, I should probably be focused more on picking everything up as I drive down here so I don't have to keep coming back here, but we're going to be back over here anyway to pick up some bales for the up-down rows on the side of the field, so I'm not too worried about it. And we'll just take this all the way back around. I'm going to go pick up the bales we skipped down in the corner here last time, since we've got now all of the bales out of the way on these headland passes. We should be able to fill this trailer up again, though. There's quite a few bales over on this edge of the field that the balers already managed to knock out. There is all of the bales on the edges that we missed before, I think. So now we just need to pick up enough of these on the way back down, and we should be good to run it back up to the farm. And I want to get that slurry spreader going on this field right behind the sheds here, so that we can hopefully get the rest of that digestate spread today too. Oh, that is not where those are supposed to be. Let's drag them back onto the trailer. Not sure I've got it in odd mode right now, which is causing all kinds of weight issues as we barrel around with this truck. Oh my goodness. All right, we're back up here. Let's see if I can line this up a little bit better than I did last time, and we'll get 3 through the unload instead of just the 2. There we go. Nope, just the front 2 again. I gotta go a little bit further forward there. It's a little bit deceiving how long this trailer is, but I did remember I can move 2 stacks at a time if we leverage a little bit of a friendly neighborhood physics to push the front stack with the back stack. Good times. And with that out of the way, let's go ahead and push Y one more time. Operating position. We can bring this back out to the field, and then we're going to switch over, and we're going to get the slurry spreader going. We're going to fill it up on digestate and get it onto the field behind the sheds there, and see if we can manage to do that. I'm going to be real curious to see how much digestate we ended up using out of that one tank to do this little field up here. All right, so it looks like we're at 42%, a little over half to do this field. Not too bad, not too bad at all. What we're going to do, we're going to top this off, and then I think I am going to set up course play in the field behind the house there, and then when it gets ready to be emptied, I can just go ahead and take over and go fill that back up at the digestate myself until I get a chance to set up some kind of a course to handle this. We're definitely going to need that before the fall, because I'm not going to be able to handle keeping up with some of these bigger fields where we have to go back and forth a bunch of times. In fact, I'm not even sure I want to be able to keep up with this field behind us to spread slurry on it. We'll have to see how this goes. Oh, that sign in the middle of the road catching us up a little bit. We're all full up on a digestate, and I'm just noticing we're under half on the fuel, so maybe we should swing through the yard here real quick and top off the fuel on this tractor before we head back out into the field. Thankfully, it's on the way to the field that we need to go, so I will try to squeeze through the gate here without running into anything. That's where this steering on the slurry tanker comes in handy sometimes. handle some of those curves a little bit better. Top the fuel off. That was mighty quick. 430 bucks in diesel though. That's gonna make a dent in our available cash. We are having to take out more operating loans than I was hoping to kind of keep things moving. We're at $705,000 of debt right now. That's all right. We're gonna make a bunch of money here in the summer when we're able to sell off our soybeans that we've got in the bins here, which should be exciting. And I'm just gonna pull this thing all the way out into the field here to make sure we get a good field marker. Makes my job easier when we come in to create the course play course. I don't have to actually pick the field. I can just hit the generate button and kind of go. And then let's go ahead and open course play up here. I've got it set to first waypoint, but I am gonna drive over here and kind of line ourselves up a little bit because it'll work a little bit better, I feel like, if we're facing the right way coming into that waypoint. I do have my course play generation stuff set up for the really large fields where we kind of do skip rows and different things. Not really necessary for these smaller fields, but I'm kind of too lazy to change things. So we're just kind of leaving things as they are. It seems to be working, even if it's slightly less optimal for these smaller fields. It's going to work out just fine. We've got 100% digestate in the tank. Let's go and see how far this is gonna get. Check in on our mower here. Swather is doing great. And that leaves us with picking up a few more bales here to keep everything moving on the feed front. Now, I am curious to check in on our feed metrics. In fact, I don't think we're in a hurry to get this grass in. Let's do that real quick. We haven't checked the animals this episode. Now, I'm not moving time forward very fast, so we should be in a good spot. We've got a whole day's worth of food here in this pen. We've got 2 full days and some change in this pen, and we've got a day and some change in this pen. We're doing really good. Everybody's healthy. We've got the reproduction rate just reset there. This one's climbing, and these guys are almost out of puberty. This is when we're really going to start making some money, so I can't wait for that. And then as long as I'm in the menus, let's go ahead and check and see how we're doing. Silage does seem to be making some progress, and we are only about half full on the grass bales. I can't remember exactly how many cubic yards this thing is going to hold, but quite a few. And I've got some TMR starting to stack up here that we're going to be able to distribute to our animals soon. So we've got everything kind of moving here. I don't need to get done with the mowing today. I just need to get done with it in the month of April, I believe, for us to not lose out on any of our calendar growth cycle stuff. So I'm going to bump the time up now, I think, to 5x, since the last jobs that we have due in April in general are to finish cutting all this grass and get it into the harvest store, and then we just need to finish spreading that digestate on these grass fields, which is already in flight. So there's no need to keep things moving slow. I do have several days of April to get moved forward on here, so if we skip a couple days while we finish up this job, that's actually a good thing, as long as I keep an eye on our animal feed situation. We do need to make sure we get a few more levels of feed in there. Oh my goodness. We do need to make sure that we keep that feed topped off before we start advancing time too much. I have made that mistake in the past, and then you spend a lot of time trying to recover the health of your animals because they were not properly fed. So we want to avoid that as much as possible here. And I think I'm going to regret skipping that bale back there, because it looks like we're going to come up like 1 or 2 bales short here. Maybe more than that. We're at 23. I need to get to 30. So we probably have a few more to go. He's just turned around on his way back up here. So not going to hit 30 by the time we get to the end. But we'll see how we do. I can usually sneak in close to him and grab a couple right off of the baler, like so. And there we go. We're at 28. So yeah, I should have grabbed that bale. We would have been at 30. Well, maybe I'll take the time to drive over here and grab the one on the other side of the field that we missed, and we'll just get filled up that way. I've come to the conclusion that it's just grass. We can probably drive over it diagonally here to go get that last bale over on the other corner that we missed as well. That'll top us off. I know there's one about to come off the back of the baler as well, but I'd rather just get the bales that are on the outsides and kind of just keep working my way towards the middle, following the workers around. It'll make it easier so I don't forget that I've got one laying around. I don't know why it does that, because I'm not in the unload mode. I do have to push Y again to unload, but this auto unload mod seems to be a little bit wonky on me sometimes. Either way, we've got another full load of grass bales here, so I'm going to run these up and get them into the harvest store. I'm kind of curious to see what another load is going to do to us starting to get full here on cranking through silage. That's the other reason that I'm moving the time up at a little bit faster rate, is we're going to have to get through this material and get it turned into silage, or I'm going to run out of room to put grass into that harvest store sooner than later. All right. Oh, we've got a new message here. Worker stopped unexpectedly, left the course. Well, I'm going to have to go figure out what that's about. But before we do that, let's take a look here. We're now at 720 cubic yards of grass. So we're making good progress. We're going to not have major problems getting the rest of this grass into here, I don't think. I'm not worried about that at all. I'm going to drive this back out to the field and then hopefully figure out which of our workers has gone rogue. I suspect it's the slurry spreader, though, based on the fact that there's a giant ravine over there, and I can see both of the other workers right here. They still seem to be moving along just fine. So I'm just gonna park this guy over here. He's out of the way. There's not that many bales left to go anyway, and we'll see if we can find a spot over the fence here. All right, I'm here. I don't know why it stopped. I think I can probably just start it off at the nearest waypoint again. I don't see why not. Seems to be going good. Alright, well that's very confusing. Maybe it just couldn't calculate the turn, and these articulated tractors occasionally get kind of hung up trying to get perfectly aligned when they really don't need to. But the middle part of this field is looking pretty good from a nitrogen perspective, and it looks like we're now officially onto the headlands portion of our journey. We're already at 56% left, so we used up, well, now we're at like 45% used up. Not bad at all. I think this will come in right about perfect. We might need a little bit more to top it off, just because the headlands are going to get wider and wider as we go around. But it'll be close because we're kind of overlapping a lot right now, so it's not using the full amount. However, I like what I see. We're getting it done. Let's let him continue, and we will, I don't know, we'll get out of the way and go check in on our animal feed situation. I think what I want to do is grab that farm and go take a load of feed into that barn that had the least amount of feed. See if we can get that to 2 days of feed as well. Gonna go ahead and top this off, and let me see if I can change mode to have this guy pick up from the harvest store and deliver it to, was it barn B on the far side over there? And we're doing total mixed ration. We're all full up, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit play on this, and we're gonna see if this thing is got it all figured out here. And it does look like it is gonna be barn B that I was looking for. Perfect. We're starting to remember which barns are which, because I loaded into this closer one last time, if I recall. And just to be sure, we're gonna pop this open and see if this starts going up. This is at 185, 230, 239. This is going up. 248. It just doesn't update in real time. Perfect. So now we've got the TMR going into the right barn here. I'm actually going to let this guy continue on this course. I think he'll keep doing it as long as there's TMR in the thing. And I do have a little bit more, not enough to get another full load though, so he'll probably slow down here or stop and wait until he fills up. But that's fine. This is the barn that I want it to go into, at least right now. And we've got enough made to let us kind of move forward a day here now. I didn't want to skip time forward too much until we had grass in here that was getting turned into silage, and the silage and hay, which is getting turned into TMR. And over here, we've got our slurry getting turned into digestate. We've got plenty in there to kind of keep everything moving here, so we should be in a good spot now. Let's just wait a moment here and make sure that this guy is going to be able to handle this on his own. I think he should just sit here and wait until there's enough TMR to top him off. I don't think he's going to take off with a half a load. There's more TMR here than I thought. Yeah, he's going to sit here and wait until he's got a full load. Perfect. All right. Everything is now officially lined up the way that I want it. And we're going to just let all of these workers keep doing their things. I can't believe that this guy is actually stuck on our truck all this time. Oh my goodness. I thought we were plenty safe parking the truck over here to keep him out of the way, but apparently these tractors need to turn pretty wide to get into the next area here. So all this time we haven't had the baler moving. Oh my goodness. Well, it is what it is. We've got him moving now, and I need to jump this fence once again and get out here. It looks like our slurry spreader is officially stalled out. So we'll jump over here. It was on its last run around the headland. That's all right. I'm going to go ahead and drive this thing across the road. We'll get the digestate refilled, and we'll get this field finished off. However, I think this is going to be a great place to wrap up today's episode. We've gotten most of the jobs done that we set out to do, which is really focused on getting all of these fields spread with the digestate, and we've made major progress on getting that grass field mowed and put into the harvest store. I think I'll let the workers go a little bit off camera here on finishing up the mowing on that field, and we'll let the time advance here a few days. We'll see how things go, and we'll catch y'all next episode for some more adventures on UMRV. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode. If you have, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. That's all for today. Kedrick out.